Manuel Vilar, followed by Don Rowe, and those keeping score, we have another submission. Top of the third page, Legal Aid Society or thereabouts. Steve Banks has submitted. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To save a little time, I'm going to cut my presentation a little short. My name is Manuel Vilar, and I'm president of Police Benevolent Association of New York State, a labor union representing the interests of the police, the agency police services unit. I'm also an active sergeant in the New York State Park Police. On behalf of the PBA in New York State and its 1,200 uniformed police officers, I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity to testify this afternoon. I have the honor to appear today before you representing the dedicated uniformed police officers working in the State University Police, State Environmental Conservation Police, State Park Police, and State Forest Rangers. These hardworking men and women are on duty 365 days a year, 24/7, protecting our SUNY campuses, environment and natural resources, and more than 60 million annual visitors to our world-class state parks and state forest preserves. We respond to every peril ranging from natural disasters to dangerous felons. Each year, the New York State budget has a significant impact on the work we do and our ability to carry out our mission. Over the past several years, we have been routinely asked to do more with less, and we have. Deep and consistent cuts to 3 of our units, Environmental Conservation Police, State Park Police, and State Forest Rangers, has gotten to the point where we are concerned with our ability to respond quickly to emergency calls. There are many steps the legislature can take, such as addressing our top priority of high attrition rates at the State University Police, to mitigate the issues members face as we struggle to meet our mission. I'm here today to urge the legislature to prioritize our funding needs so we may better serve and protect the residents and visitors of New York State. We urge the legislature to increase non-personal services lines for the Division of Law Enforcement and Forest Rangers in the Department of Environmental Conservation and for the State Park Police in the State Parks budget. Our units are in desperate need of supplies and critically needed equipment. For example, while we recently graduated a new academy of forest rangers, the graduates did not receive winter coats, ATV helmets, gloves, or flashlights. New environmental conservation officers were not given rain gear, and their radio equipment is so inadequate that it cannot communicate with the Division of State Police. Only a portion of State Park Police officers have tasers or radiation detection devices, while others go without. All of our units need vehicles, and while we are pleased the governor is allocating funding to purchase of vehicles for DEC, we must confirm that we have the necessary equipment to equip those vehicles and our members. A few $100,000 added to each unit would go a long way to mend our needs. Over the last several years, New York State has seen more than her fair share of natural disasters, from Hurricane Irene and Sandy, Tropical Storm Lee, winter blizzards, record-breaking deep freezes, severe winters, and natural disasters today. Whether we face active nature or horrific crimes, including terrorism, our officers are increasingly called upon to perform many aspects of the state's response and rescue efforts. PBA members are not only police officers, but are highly trained with unique special skill sets they apply regularly in the daily performance of their duty. When a man-made natural disaster strikes, such as the state of emergency today, it'll be our members out on snowmobiles aiding the citizens and your constituents in the state of New York. For us, those are regular day-to-day skill sets that we apply on a regular basis, but they're the special skill sets that we need, that we provide when a moment's notice calls and we respond. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them now.
Senator Galloway. Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, President.
Question in two areas. I think your testimony might have cleared up one, but you talked about the non-personal services lines and some specific equipment, and then cited a few $100,000 would go a long way to meeting the needs. Are you able to be more specific about that? And if not today, would you be able to provide figures and numbers, costs and the numbers of those things, those items needed?
Yes, absolutely. I could, not today, but I could provide you the exact to the dollar amount that we would specifically need between the agencies for vehicles, equipment. I have to say, the agencies have been very, very good. Commissioner Martens, Commissioner Harvey have been very good in working with us, trying to do the best they can with what they have. But to mirror my counterparts in the Division of State Police, it's a lean budget, and we have an aging fleet of vehicles. We need necessary equipment. We're trying to get by with a lot less.
You spoke of high attrition rates as being your top priority. Why are your attrition rates high?
There's a combination of unique factors that deal with attrition rates, and they tend to do with compensation. Our members earn substantially less than the Division of State Police. They're very highly trained, unique, special skill sets that, quite frankly, you don't get at a regular police academy. You only get them coming out the door. When our members come out the door, they're ready for rope rescues, marine patrol, fighting forest fires, rescuing, such as the plane crash up in Lake Placid, where our members spent overnight hiking up an icy mountain to rescue the survivors. Those are forest fires. Those are all very, very special skill sets. And quite frankly, it's not something that a police officer, a regular uniformed municipal police officer, has. So when our members come out of an academy, they're a hot topic, and if they can woo them away, they will. And normally that happens.
Are they eligible for transfer?
Yes,
to other agencies?
they transfer out. They take other civil service exams. The attrition rate, I could tell you, in the Park Police is roughly about 25 people a year for a police department that's right now currently only has 215 active members and 35 members in the police academy.
What retirement system are you in?
Park Police are in police and fire. Park Police, environmental conservation, and forest rangers are in the police and fire. University police are in the employee retirement system.
What's the difference in the years that they serve before they're eligible for retire? What's the difference? I'm not clear on that. The current Park Police system, the current PNF system, we're all in a 25-year plan, and the employee retirement system is like everyone else. And who is in that one? The employee retirement?
University police.
And the university police are they're police officers. They went to the police academy,
absolutely.
Eligible for transfer.
Absolutely.
All those things?
Highly trained,
okay.
Specialized, incredible, unique set of skill sets.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Assemblyman Aubrey.
Thank you very much for testifying. Just a question. Are you, would you have information related to the amount of revenue that parks and environmental conservation and would generate for the state?
I can't give you the exact dollar amount, but I can follow up. Department of Environmental Conservation, through their enforcement efforts and civil restitution, it does bring in a substantial amount of revenue to the state. In the case of state parks, as we all know, state parks is a giant economic engine that generates, I believe the Rockefeller Center quoted somewhere around $1 billion a year. So keeping people safe in our state parks and state forest preserves, state waterways, snowmobile trails, is in of itself a huge economic generator to the state.
And so state parks, I asked this question because we had had further discussions. I was told generated $83 million a year, just state parks. And the laundry list of what you indicate would be required to bring these departments up to some level of proficiency relative to equipment. You said you don't have an estimate of what that cost might be?
No, I'm sorry, I do not have an exact dollar amount, and I can get that exactly to you. We're working very closely with the agencies, like I said, Commissioner Martens in DEC and Commissioner Harvey. They've been wonderful. We've been working very closely with them. The governor's office has been good, but we're trying to...
Well, who's the villain? Somebody has to be a villain, right? I mean, everybody can't be good, and you don't have equipment necessary to do your job.
It's a flatline budget, and it's been a flatline budget for several years. So we're not replacing vehicles at the rate we normally do, and we're not purchasing new equipment at the rate that we need to keep up with new staff and turnover in personnel.
You're a good soldier. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.